In this video, I'm going to be telling you who every starting quarterback in the NFL in the year 2024 is going to be. So, the end of the season and then 2 seasons after that, who's going to be the starting quarterback for every team. It's a lot of guys are relatively easy answers. You look at some of the young quarterbacks in the league now, then guys that we just know are still going to be around. Those guys, pretty easy answers. But then you have got tougher ones with guys that could get traded, the Russell Wilsons, the Deshaun Watsons, and guys that we aren't certain about. So let's get into it. Starting out with the Buffalo Bills, we got Josh Allen. This is a fairly obvious answer. No one's really gonna have any questions about it. And then we move on to the New England Patriots, another fairly obvious one. And you got Mac Jones, no brainer there as well. And then I got the Dolphins third. Another one that I think is fairly obvious. I think it's going to be Tua. I think he's going to stay around. I think they're going to support him. And then last in the AFC East, we got Zach Wilson. I think he's going to keep the starting job. I've questioned him before, but I think the Jets will keep him. And just so you guys know, the way this goes is we're going to go through it by division and 1 through 4, and that's going to be the order of which my confidence level. So 1's the most confident and 4 is the least confident. On to the AFC North, and a couple easy ones to start. Baltimore Ravens, I have them keeping Lamar. No really questions about that. Lamar's been great when he stays healthy, and I think he will. Cincinnati Bengals, it's Joe Burrow. He's the number 1 pick for a reason. He's been balling out lately. His 525-yard, 5-touchdown game against the Ravens, that was impressive. These two are close. We've seen which one I think is more likely. And then third, obviously less likely, is Baker Mayfield staying with the Cleveland Browns. I think it's the smart choice. I don't think the team's good and they'll be able to compete in this division with Baker and don't need another quarterback. And then Pittsburgh Steelers, this is where it gets interesting. I have them going to the draft and taking Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett's good. He's a kid from Pittsburgh. It makes sense to do it. Last top draft pick from Pittsburgh was Dan Marino, and I think they'll go similar spots late in the first round. I think it'll be a good draft pick for the Steelers, and I think Pickett will do well in Pittsburgh. That's his city. Moving along to the AFC West, you got Patrick Mahomes for Kansas City, and you got Justin Herbert for the LA Chargers. These two dudes are not going anywhere. And then for the Vegas Raiders, this is a questionable one. You could have some guys moving in, but I think they'll stick with Derek Carr. I think Carr's pretty good. I think he receives a lot of hate for no reason. They've went through a lot this year and he's played pretty good football. And then the last team in this division is the Denver Broncos, and I have them getting Sam Howell. Sam Howell fits John Elway's type of quarterback. He's tall, he's big, he's fairly mobile, and he's got a cannon of an arm. And I think they'll use Bridgewater for another season. They'll have Howell come in and out, and I think he'll take over by 2024. Howell's a good quarterback. I like watching him play. Moving on to the AFC South, I got Trevor Lawrence for Jacksonville, as long as they can find him a competent head coach, which seems to be the hardest challenge for them in that ownership group. And then the Houston Texans, I got Davis Mills. I think he's better than a lot of people give him credit for. Made some nice throws in their upset over the Chargers last weekend. He's been a lot better than Tyrod Taylor's been this season, and it's great to see that they're finally starting him. For Indy, I got the Colts. I think they're just going to stick with Carson Wentz. They're just going to continue to be mediocre with him. And then Tennessee's my first, I'd say, fairly interesting one. I've got them drafting Malik Willis and having him work in with Tannehill, and by 2024 he'll be the starter. I think they need to realize that they have the best running back in football, and with a great running back like that, you pair him with a good running quarterback like Malik Willis, and you'll do some great things. Moving on to the NFC East, Dallas, easy. Dak Prescott, he's been great this season. I think he's definitely going to be their guy. He won't be going anywhere in the next 2 years. Next, you got Philadelphia. They've always been talking about who their quarterback's going to be. I think it'll stay Jalen Hurts. He's made some very amazing plays, very bad plays as well. But it's easier to get rid of the bad plays and learn how to make great plays. So I think he'll be the guy. The New York Giants, I think they're going to trade for Deshaun Watson. This may come as a surprise to people. Deshaun Watson would go to a lot of different teams, but I think he'll go to the Giants. I think that's why they're saying they're going to keep Daniel Jones and Joe Judge, because they're going to find a way to trade for Deshaun Watson and have him sit a season during suspension. And then Washington, I think they're going to suck next year, and they'll get the first overall pick, a very high pick, and they're going to take Bryce Young. He's the best quarterback in the class. Bryce Young is amazing. He's the Heisman for a reason. NFC North, the Bears, I got them keeping Justin Fields. He's a very good football player, and I think he's going to be very good for them in the future. The Packers, I have them sticking with Jordan Love once Rodgers moves on. I think Rodgers is just going to stay in Green Bay until Love takes over, until Rodgers is done. It could be Rodgers at this point still, but I think it'll be Jordan Love. I think Rodgers doesn't have that many years left in him, but I think Rodgers is going to stay in Green Bay. The Detroit Lions, I have them getting really lucky on draft day and having Matt Corral fall to them and their first pick of the second round, pick 33. I think they'll still end up with the first overall draft pick. And then the Minnesota Vikings, I really have no idea on this one. I think they'll just stick with Kirk Cousins. That's why I'm at 4. Originally, I was thinking maybe Jimmy Garoppolo, but is that really much of an upgrade? And Garoppolo's only 3 years younger, but Kirk Cousins is 33, so who knows how much he's got left. But I really have no idea what Minnesota's going to do. They confuse me. NFC West, Arizona's going to be Kyler. Kyler's amazing. He'll probably win MVP by the time he's the quarterback in 2024. The Rams, Stafford's not going anywhere. He's still got plenty of years of good football left, and he'll keep them competitive for a while. San Francisco, they'll have some very dynamic sort of run game offense centered around Trey Lance. By this time, Garoppolo is going to be gone in free agency, I think, this season. Don't know where he's going to go. I think he'll end up being maybe played as a starter somewhere for a year, and then he'll be out as a starter by 2024. But Lance is the guy in San Francisco. And then I think Seattle is going to end up drafting C.J. Stroud. This is their 4 for a reason because I don't know whether it's going to be Stroud or a different quarterback, but they'll end up taking a quarterback because I have Russell Wilson moving on. The NFC South is very interesting. I got Russell Wilson getting traded to the Panthers. This team thinks they can win now for some reason. They've got some good players, but I don't think they're that close. But I think they'll go get Russell Wilson and try to do this. I got the Falcons going and drafting DJ Uiagalelei, the kid from Clemson. Not positive how to pronounce his last name. Don't get mad at me for it, but he's a good quarterback. You just got to learn how to get a little better at touch passes, but I think he'll be good for Atlanta. And then I got the Saints sticking with Jameis. They were 5-2 before his injury. No need to move on from him already. I know they got Taysom, but I think they'll stick with Jameis. And then I have the Tampa Bay Bucks sticking with Brady for a little bit, and then eventually they're going to have to draft another quarterback. I don't think Kyle Trask is that good, so I think they'll get Caleb Williams in the 2024 draft, and he'll be a rookie going into the 2024 season. Caleb Williams is very good. I like him a lot. So let me know what you think. Let me know how I did on saying who's going to be the starter for every NFL team in 2024. Let me know what you disagree with, and we'll see how it comes true in the future.